Hey everybody, welcome back to the Gridiron Gals podcast. I'm Rita, the NFL chick.
And hey, everybody, it's Chelsea, aka Chelsea's right.
And on my back shoulder is, if you're watching the podcast, is Garden, the cat. She wants her attention. So please say hello to Garden because she just always, not you putting your little ears up. Girl, bye.
Oh, she said, did somebody say my name?
Definitely did. It was like, oh, who talking about me? Well, you always want to be in the videos like you, Puffy. So welcome to the podcast. We want to say happy holidays. We hope that you all had a very Merry Christmas. If you celebrate Kwanzaa, hope you had a good you're enjoying your Kwanzaa week. But there's a lot of topics that have happened. Not a quiet week at all in the world of football. And so let's talk about it, Charles. First up, Lamar Jackson, we got to keep having these conversations. As we know, my Baltimore Ravens curb stomped the San Francisco 49ers. Chels called it. She called it on the podcast last week. So shout out to Chels for having more faith in my team than me. This is wow. And so if you haven't heard by now, there's been some discourse going on because a female Fox Sport analyst, I'm not going to give you names, you can find it yourself. It ended up deleting the tweets anyway, so you're just going to have to find the story. Went on the record and started talking about the MVP race, because we know that that's getting close. So there's been a lot of discourse about whether Lamar is the top MVP candidate because of his statistics. People are saying the statistics don't add up, and this woman said that Lamar Jackson is not quote unquote quarterbacky enough. Now, apparently that term came from Colin Cowherd, who, by the way, Colin Cowherd went on record and said the Lamar Jackson is his MVP. So this is not, he's just made this word up like before. Mm-hmm. He said that word before. But he doesn't feel this way. But she said he is not quarterbacky enough. So, of course, she got skull dragged. And then tried to double down and start bringing up statistics, which by the way, I saw that she purposely left out Jalen Hurts. But, here we go, because maybe he's not quarterbacky enough either. So, Charles, when you saw that conversation being had, how did you feel? Because I'm back to, why are we having these conversations about black quarterback? Why are we still here? Why are we still acting like Lamar Jackson's not a quarterback? And I'm fucking tired of this conversation, but it is a topic that has been booming the last few days, so we do have to discuss.
It definitely caused my civil rights to flare up. I don't know what. I caught you all guard, boo.
She said her civil rights was flaring up like it was arthritis. Oh, girl, the civil rights is playing up today.
Yeah, my civil rights. That's what I'm gonna start saying whenever white folks do a racism, or non-white folks, because I don't even know if their lady is a white folks. When she did when they do a racism, I'm gonna say, oh, my civil rights have flared up. I am so tired of it. It's getting to the point where the goalposts have moved so much that we are at the end of the damn field. Like, what else can you say? He has disproven everything that people have tried to say about him since he was drafted. And I've been following his career since Louisville. I made it a point to go to the first Ravens preseason game, because I was like, I'm going to see Lamar Jackson. You know what I mean? And I just don't understand what people are seeing. And when I saw her post, I was like, he's just too black. Just too black. Just too. And I don't even know, is it that when he's talking, he is so respectful. Yes, Miss Lisa. Yes, Miss So-and-so. Like he, and I'm not saying that he has to, but like, you can see that he is a well-raised, respectful person. What else do you want the boy to do? I don't know. Maybe he need to learn how to do open heart surgery. What else do you want him to do? Like, and also, like, quarterbacks have evolved over time. And just like the game has evolved. So what do you mean like he's not quarterbacky enough? If you don't think he's quarterbacky enough, you let a piece of his toe hit the free agent market, and you don't see if somebody else don't think he's quarterbacky enough. But people have to be very careful with parroting racist tropes. And that is what she did. And that is what the people in the comment section were trying to tell her that she was doing. You are repeating what you see someone else saying about him. And the dog whistle is loud as hell.
Mm-hmm. It is very, very loud. My favorite thing about this whole thing, Charles, is that, well, what's quarterbacking for you? Because when I watch Buffalo Bills games, I watch Josh Allen out there thinking he fucking Mike Allstott. Okay. And if you guys watch football long enough, you know who Mike Allstott is. That motherfucker was in Tampa Bay running people over like a fucking bulldozer, and he was a fullback. Well, that's what Josh Allen is out here doing. And this is no disrespect to Josh Allen. I think that Josh Allen is a great player. Okay. I think that if the Bills weren't currently in second place in their own division, he'd be the front runner for the MVP candidate, since y'all like stats so fucking much. Okay. Mm-hmm. But ultimately, that's not quarterbacky. That's considered quarterbacky to you, but Lamar Jackson's not quarterbacky. And that's the problem that I have. So the Ravens currently have the best record in the National Football League. They have 3 losses. Well, who the fuck do you think is responsible for that, Miss Lady?
Take it away and see what happens.
Yeah, because what y'all going to sit here and say is, oh, it's going to be Justin Tucker. But that's, the defense, not Justin Tucker. Although some of y'all might do that too. But when you start looking at the points, I believe the Ravens are 5th in points, and scoring points. So my thing is, well, who the fuck do you think is responsible for that? I also love the fact that y'all love to take away his rushing stats, right? Oh, so we can sit here and say Josh Allen got 40 plus total touchdowns, which includes his running stats, but you can't put Lamar's, 700 plus running yards for the season as a part of his stats. And yes, Lamar doesn't have a lot of rushing touchdowns this year. You want to know why? Because Lamar has preserved himself and allowed his running backs to do the work when they get into the position of being able to run it into the end zone. So
because
again,
he doesn't run first.
Right. He's not going to look. Long gone are the days of 2019 where Lamar was just going to run it. He feels like he needs to preserve himself, and he has to make sure that he's there available for his team. So who do you think is moving the ball down the field? That's the part that I don't think that I understand. So again, I'm confused as to what do y'all consider to be quarterbacky. What you really wanted to say, Charles, is he quarter blacky. That's what you wanted to say. Okay. What she wanted to say was quarter blacky. Because again, when she doubled down on, oh, y'all sitting here calling me a racist, she started adding people. She added Tua, she added Josh Allen, maybe Matthew Stafford, I believe she added. Left off Jalen Hurts, though. Ooh. And look, yes, have the Eagles struggled lately? Yes, they have. They only have 4 losses, though. So what are we doing here? That's the question that I have. Why can Josh Allen's Mike Allstott looking ass go and bulldoze people and be considered quarterbacky, but Lamar Jackson, because he doesn't have the numbers that y'all think is necessary, is not quarterbacky? And the last time that I checked, Charles, MVP stands for most valuable player, not best statistical player. That's the fucking problem.
And that's where people are getting it messed up. Yep. You thinking that the MVP is the best player in the league, and it is not. Because if it was, you probably would have a little bit more defensive players as MVP.
How about it? Let's start there, like Myles Garrett.
Yes, and
Michael Parsons, other people involved.
Michael Parsons, Aaron Donald. You have other people that have made big impacts, defensive players, that have changed the game. But the problem is that you think that that's the best player in the league, and it is the best player on their team, the person who has the most impact on their team, which is the reason why you have people in the conversation. You may not think they're MVP, but their team thinks that they are. So you're going to have Dak Prescott in there, because if you sit Dak Prescott down, we ain't got as many wins. We need Dak to play good. We need Dak to use his legs. We need Dak to go through his reads. Like that is the same thing. But let me tell you what And also it's the same with Brock Purdy. Like he got beat down, but we saw what they look like without Brock Purdy. So that is what people are using to make the argument. And no way am I saying that Dak Prescott and Brock Purdy and Tua and all of these people are better than Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson, to me, is right now the best quarterback in the league. But I'm saying that this is why these people are a part of the MVP conversation because of the impact they have on their team. But what I found funny about Miss Girl is then she says that her MVP is Christian McCaffrey, who's a running back who has higher wide receiving stats than his running stats.
Is he running backy? Is he running backy?
A little running backy.
Is he running backy?
He's a little running backy. So I was like, so which one is it? Is it one Mike or is it Uchiwale, girlfriend? Which one is it? All you got to say is, I think Christian McCaffrey is the most valuable player on his team. I think he is the MVP. Leave Lamar out of it. If you think that, you can make a case for it. Just like I can make a case for that. Just like I can pick Tua for Brock Purdy. I can make a case for all of these people. Make your case for him. Leave Lamar Jackson out of it. I'm tired of y'all talking about that black man. I'm tired of y'all talking about him. I'm tired of him having, like, he is like just such a good-natured person, like a genuine person. And y'all be running through him, and I'm tired of it. And it's like I said, it's making my civil rights flare up. I feel like y'all just don't like that man because he is so black.
Yep.
Blacker than you would like for him to be.
You said it perfectly. If Christian McCaffrey was your MVP, there was a way for you to say, Christian McCaffrey is my MVP, and this is why. And when someone said, well, what about Lamar Jackson? You could have said Lamar Jackson is a great quarterback, but Christian McCaffrey is my MVP, period. And we wouldn't have had none of this conversation. You sat there and said, he ain't quarterbacky enough for me. And I can sit here and break down how many other motherfuckers ain't quarterbacky enough based on whatever the fuck merit you decided to come up with in terms of picking against Lamar Jackson. Fine. I don't care about you not picking Lamar Jackson. That's not the problem. But you definitely dog whistle. We heard you. Y'all ended up deleting that tweet. You thought it was cute, okay? Until you got beat down in the interwebs based on your words. So y'all gotta be, and the sad part is this lady has a show every weekend on Fox Sports Radio. Again, I'm not gonna tell y'all the times because I'm not about to sit here and promote her shit because fuck her, as far as I'm concerned. Basically. And the lady claimed at one point in time she was a Ravens fan, but now she a Chargers fan. Well, first of all, we already don't trust you, lady, because you just flip-flopping ass bitch, okay? This is what's happening here. We don't trust you. And this is why men be like, oh, you need to go in the kitchen because of bitches like that. Exactly why. Oh, I wasn't watching football that long, and that's fine. Look, we all get in the football when we get into it, right? But you just, oh, well, the Chargers is in LA now. I'm still like the Raiders, but I like the Chargers. Hey, you're embarrassing, okay? You already were embarrassing, and now you're even more embarrassing with this quarterbacking shit.
And the problem is she's repeating what men have been saying.
Absolutely. 110%. 110%.
That's what makes it worse.
And that's what makes it worse, okay? So
like she been in the Barstool group chat or something.
Ooh. In the Barstool chat, showing feet. I don't know if that's true, but if y'all know the Noriega story about Doja Cat, that's where that came from. Sorry. All right, moving along, friend. Let's talk about more quarterbacks, more black quarterbacks that are being disrespected. As we know by now, Russell Wilson has been benched by the Denver Broncos, even though from his statistics, he is a top 10 quarterback in the National Football League. Sean Payton tried to come out and say, oh, no, this is about the way that he's played. And then all hell broke loose. The reports came out that they went to him after beating the Chiefs and asked, could he take a pay cut or take off the option for the injury, the compensation. And he said, no, it's my money. And they said, oh, okay, well, we're going to sit you if you don't. They actually threatened him earlier to sit him, again, immediately after the Chiefs game. But then they were playing well. You couldn't really do that. So then what happened? If you ask Broncos fans, Sean Payton started sabotaging that offense, making very weird, bizarre play calls, making very weird and bizarre timeouts. And this is not me talking. This is when you start talking to Broncos fans, it all makes sense.
The change.
The writing was on the wall, sabotaging that young man and that offense. And now essentially Russell Wilson has officially been benched. They tried to tell us it was for on the field stuff. And then I got to assume either the NFLPA or his agent put it out there like, nah, what we're not going to do is that. What we're not going to do is act like this is all on Russell. They don't want to pay no money. And that they are now, since the truth has come out, they're like, okay, cool. So now that the truth is out, we are officially going to let him go in March as a free agent. So, yeah, that's what happened. What are your thoughts, Chels, on how all of this is gone?
Big racism.
Ooh.
Big racism. Y'all don't do no white quarterbacks like that. And I'm sorry. I know people don't like to hear you go for the big R, but I'm telling you, civil rights flared all the way up. Why would you
again?
And here's the thing. You went about it in a way where you tried to humiliate him. It is humiliating for a quarterback to be benched at the end of the season.
Yep.
It is humiliating. Especially, we saw how they started. We saw how they had a run. We saw the old Russell Wilson for several weeks, and then you bench him for somebody that is probably trash. You bench him, and then you say it's because of how you've been playing that you won't play the last 2 games of this year because you are that terrible, and you're going to get fired in March, and blah, 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 blah. You tried to humiliate him instead of telling the truth. Is that you want to get out of this injury clause that you have for the next whatever. You still gonna take a cap hit by letting him go. You still gonna take a cap hit, but like
they don't even care about that, friend. They don't
care about it. But you wanted to humiliate that black man. You wanted to make him. This would sour his career. This is a Super Bowl winning quarterback.
Mm-hmm. Been to 2 Super Bowls. 2.
Been to 2, won 1. Many quarterbacks will never be able to say that. And y'all try to sabotage him. And I'm glad that Russell Wilson spoke up for himself and let them know what happened. The NFLPA needs to be 10 toes down in this.
Yep.
I want to see this result in fines and punishments and all kinds of draft picks. I want it all to come down. And the common denominator is the same man.
Who's that?
Sean Payton, the Grinch.
So I'm not gonna bail out the Walton family here. Okay. I'm not
bailing out anybody, but I'm saying Sean Payton always up in the mix when something like this nefarious is going down.
That is true. He always in the mix, baby. He loved being in the mix.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts? Before I go in on Sean Payton, I'm going to give you the floor first if you would like to have a quick rant on Sean Payton, because I got things to say.
You go, friend. I want to see you let loose. Go, friend.
I'm not holding the Walton family bail. This is only their 2nd year of owning the Broncos. And that trade happened, I believe, before the sale was final. So it is very possible that that's not their quarterback either, and that they want to find their own person, and that potentially they're behind this all along because they're the ones that signed the checks, right? So I don't know how that goes. As far as Sean Payton is concerned, Sean Payton is a trash human being, okay? We're not going to say, we know what Bounty Gate was. And look, I'm sure that's probably something that happens a whole lot, but guess what? He the one that got caught, so we're going to sit here and call him out about it. I didn't forget also, I also didn't forget that you gave Taysom Hill a whole lot of fucking money. I don't even understand why he got the money that he did. The motherfucker ain't a real quarterback. If you want to talk about somebody not being quarterbacky, Taysom Hill is the motherfucker that's not quarterbacky. Gave him all that, put the Saints in cap hell, okay? Left them with $2.38. Drew Brees left, and then you said, well, I'm going to just go ahead and leave too. I mean, what am I still here for? We ain't got no cap. Oh, that you fucking did. and we ain't got no quarterback. Oh yeah, because you gave the non-quarterbacky motherfucker a whole bunch of money. So you left, then you laid low. Then you tried to tell us that you want only $20 million a year, which is way more money than what Andy Reid is currently getting as the head coach of the Kansas City Chiefs. The Walton family paid him, I don't think it was $20 million, but more money than he probably should have gotten. And then you sit here and do this. Then you sit there and talk to a grown-ass man so for everybody can see and yell and berate him. And so Charles knows about Russell Wilson because they from the same town. Russell Wilson back in his day used to beat people's ass. So what Sean Payton is lucky is that Russell Wilson, the old Russell Wilson, didn't come out and just slap the shit out of him for speaking to me at like I'm not a fucking adult. Okay? I am an adult. You don't talk to me like that. I've never seen Sean Payton talk to other people like that. Look, and if he has, please send us the links, send us the stories. I'm fine with being wrong here. I am completely fine with being wrong here. But who the fuck do you think you're talking to? And that's what I would have said very kindly, very nicely, because I'm not going to go ahead and show off for the cameras like you. But when we got into that locker room, I'd have pulled him to the side and said, hey, don't ever do that again, because I will slap the shit out of you. And I would absolutely do it, okay? Don't ever do. I would walk into your office where there ain't no cameras, and I would slap the shit out of you if you ever talk to me like that again. That would have been me. But that's why I also don't quarterback the Denver Broncos. So, and go ahead, Fred.
Russell walks the walk and talks the talk with as far as being a saved Christian. And that is what makes him very different from other people from Richmond, Virginia. We ain't all that close to God.
I'm close to God too, but I'm human too, Charles. And God knows my heart.
Now, I said it depends. It's the spectrum of being close to God. It's a spectrum. Everybody ain't as close as other people are. Russell is a little bit closer. And also, I think that I'm totally assuming this, but like when you are black and react, it looks away.
Absolutely. 110%.
I think that he stays reserved. He stays the same tone. And everything is calm and quiet and stuff like that all the time. And I noticed that others do that too. Even Lamar does that. Lamar don't get out of pocket that much, not as much as he should, and we are under the belief that you should, I would be, this is why we on the podcast and we're not on the field, because exactly. I would be everything. But even when they had that exchange, Rita, now that you say it almost looked like it was like, it looked like it was very one-sided. Like Russell was very like, almost like, what are you talking about? What happened? What's, and so that's how you could tell that it is something possibly fabricated for show. And now people are going back to that. Oh, they were arguing over this and blah, 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 blah. But that's just not something you do. And that's not something that good coaches do. And you don't see very many coaches do that at all. They don't berate their players, even when they throw a pick or they do something bonehead or, cause a false start or whatever. They don't berate their players like that. So like, why would you do something like that? Why would you try to humiliate him? And that is my problem. And that is why I feel like my racism, the civil rights to flare it up, because y'all are trying to humiliate him. Yep. You're trying to humiliate him and degrade him. And we have seen Russell Wilson. There was a time when Russell Wilson was doing some shit. I was like, hey man, how the hell did he get away from that? He ain't had no goddamn offensive line. The boy was running for his life for years in Seattle. We have seen what he can do. You don't destroy that man in our eyes. Oh, no.
And look, I understand that y'all think he corny because there's a lot of people out here that's like on the side of billionaires, which y'all never understand. You're corny. You're lame. Okay? You're never going to be a billionaire. Stop kissing their ass. They don't like you. They don't like you minions. They don't like you regular ass people. Okay?
Right.
Stop kissing their ass.
Y'all scared to call out of work. So I'm not even trying to hear that. Y'all scared to call out of work. Your boss let your boss talk to you any kind of way, but now y'all talking about what somebody is corny. That man got about 17 kids. He got a wife. He got family that he trying to take care of and stuff. And y'all can't even call in and get your 8 hours of PTO. You scared of your boss and you talking about this man is corny. That man has people depending on him. So you shut your mouth up.
Absolutely. Y'all sitting here, y'all mad at the millionaire because he make more money than you, but you're siding with the billionaires. Make that make sense. That makes no sense. My favorite thing though, Charles, is that this is what we need, come full circle. We need him to go to the Atlanta Falcons. We need Russ to go to the Atlanta Falcons so he can have the real daddy, future real daddy can be in the backyard with future stepdaddy. I want it. I want all of it. I want it.
Send Sierra home. Send Sierra home. Baby, Sierra probably is already like, go home.
I'm on the Falcons line ASAP. Okay, I heard you, Russ. Oh, I would like to stay with the Broncos. That's just because you're being a nice man, because you want to look like the good guy so they can look like the bad guy. And you're doing the absolute right thing here. You want to make them look like shit while you look like the stand-up human being.
They're passive aggressive. Oh, he got the passive aggressive down.
I love it though. I love it. He had to be in this situation. He couldn't be too aggressive. He couldn't be too assertive. But he also had to let you know he heard and seen all the shit that was going on. And yes, the shit did happen. Okay, so I understand you being cute. Oh, I would like to remain with the Broncos. No, you wouldn't. But what I would like you to do is go to Atlanta. Go home, friend. Take your lady home so then her baby daddy can see his son finally. Go home. Because we know that man don't spend no time with that child, okay? She had already went on the blogs, and when they asked how the co-parenting goes, she laughed in the lady's face. So we already know the man don't be co-parenting.
They just, y'all be talking about that. Yeah, that'll be hilarious. That would be hilarious, but also that would be a smooth upgrade for the Falcons. Because baby, I don't know what they got going on down there. I don't know what is happening down there.
Put Russell Wilson on the Falcons right now, friend. I want it. Actually, let him go now so he can go and help the Falcons out. I feel like they're not out of playoff contention at this point. Hey, put that man on the team. Do it now. And you can play all the Future songs you fucking want. Guess what? He gonna have all the money in his motherfucking pocket, and Future still can't beat his ass. Now what? All right. That's all I'm saying here. Here we go here, friend. It is week 17 of the NFL, which means there's only 2 weeks left. Okay, so we are at the point now where we do Saturday games, Sunday games. Okay, and so the Saturday game is Chelsea's Dallas Cowboys at home against the Detroit Lions. We know Chelsea does not pick against the Cowboys, which is fine. They're at home. I ain't picking against the Cowboys at home either. So I am going with the Cowboys, and I'm taking the points, which is 5.5 for the Cowboys.
Okay. I don't pick against the Cowboys, but I also definitely wouldn't pick against the Cowboys at home.
At home. I ain't doing it.
And I would like to think that they will not be embarrassed themselves and me by losing twice in a row. I almost wish that you didn't know who made the playoffs until after the last game, because I feel like clinching that playoff, they've been just like, we good.
Right, right. But Cowboys still are trying to win the division, as well as still in the fight for the number 1 seed.
Yeah.
I mean, technically, they have to, right? I mean,
we need a lot of help.
Hey, but I've seen weirder things happen, dog. I've seen weirder things happen. Ask me about the Ravens 2017 season, and I'll tell you. And what was that? 2016, 2017. Anyway, that's the Saturday game. Starting at 1:00 on Sunday, we have Patriots at Bills. The Bills are 14-point favorites. Okay, moving along. I'm about to choke. I wish if you're not watching the podcast, Chels made this hilarious face. Moving along. Falcons at Bears.
Oh, Falcons at Bears. I'm gonna go with the Bears.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with the Bears.
I am too. I'm actually going to go with the Bears. Ravens host the Miami Dolphins. Everybody feels like this is the game of the week and should have been flexed. I am very glad it's not flexed.
Because you want to get it out the way from you. You don't want to be all day long.
It out the way. It is New Year's Eve. I would like to enjoy my Sunday. If they win, if they lose, I can be over it in an hour. Okay, so don't try to ruin my fucking weekend because you're not a fan of either team, and you just want to see good football. You can go to hell. Okay, I'm glad that they didn't change it. So, Dolphins at Ravens. No Jalen Waddle playing. I'm not really sure about Kyle Hamilton not playing. I mean, I would have to assume.
Do you all have the Cowboys to thank for no Jalen Waddle?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm going Lamar. I'm riding with my boy.
I think Ravens pull us out in a close one. So I'm going with Ravens. And if they win this game, they solidify not only the division, but the 1 seed as well. Okay. Raiders at Colts. Raiders had a big win in Kansas City, baby. I love Antonio Pierce, by the way, and I hope that he becomes the actual head coach of that team. He embodies the Raider way, dog. I love him.
He's good for the culture. He's good for the culture.
Absolutely. Great for the culture.
Davis would have hired him already.
That's what I think too. You know, Mark a little slow. I think Mark, what do you say? His thinking skills? He don't have good thinking skills?
He got a thinking problem. He got a thinking
problem. I think Mark Davis got a thinking problem. I don't think that he's as savvy as his daddy. But I hope that the ghost of Al comes in and slaps the shit out of him and say, "Hi, that man."
Just win, baby. Just win.
So they play the Indianapolis Colts, who are still fighting for their playoff spot, but also are in contention for the AFC South because them, Jacksonville, and Houston are all tied at 8-7.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
Who you picking?
Oh shit, we ain't pick. I pick. Hey, and I hope Antonio Pierce. Hey.
I'm gonna send this to him too. Let's see how this works. You gonna pick?
I said Raiders.
Oh, I ain't even hear you. I'm sorry, friend. I want to pick the Raiders, but Aiden O'Connell has 0 passing stats for 3 quarters. 0. That's how the second, third, and fourth quarter looked against the game against the Chiefs. I'm sorry. I just can't pick them. I can't. Not with a good conscience after that type of performance. I want to very badly because I think that they can spoil some shit. I'm sorry. I can't do it. I'm picking the Colts in a close one. Rams at Giants. Rams been on fire lately, dog.
I know. And Tyrod is playing now. They done got rid of my boy Tommy Cutlets, man.
Yep. It's over. The ride was fun, but it's over. Peace.
I know. It was like the football version of Linsanity, right? I'm gonna go with the Rams though.
Going with the Rams, but I actually think that this is going to be a close game because Tyrod was going to make it interesting.
Yeah,
as he always does. I am Team Tyrod over here.
Absolutely.
Cardinals and Eagles. Bird game versus bird game.
Cardinals, if you could do us a solid.
Do you think they really can? No, is the question.
No, not at home. Not they're not gonna beat the Eagles at home. Damn.
Eagles are 12-point favorites.
Boy, that's some disrespectful shit. Okay.
Hella disrespect.
Ooh.
Yeah, I think we both going with the Eagles, even though Chelsea is asking, begging, pleading with you guys to help our team out in that regard. Saints at Bucks. What the hell? Where Baker Mayfield been all this season? The last few games, he just been out here playing his ass off. Where the hell this been?
Well, the people say December Baker is a whole different guy.
Well, he doing that, friend.
And I'm gonna go with the Bucks, especially at home. Yeah,
I'ma stick beside him. I'm picking the Buccaneers as well. 49ers at Commanders. This is
hey. Why are y'all making these people fly across the country for this bullshit?
I mean, I don't even.
Just play it on Madden.
Jacoby Brissett is starting. Does that make it better?
No.
Okay. I tried.
Is this the Tubi game of the week?
Might be the Tubi game of the week, friend. Might be the Tubi game of the week. I actually have looked at the rest of them. I think this is the Tubi game of the week. No, I found the Tubi game of the week. Not that
okay.
one.
Okay, so
That's
it's not
gonna be it.
worse than this. Well, I'm going
That's
with the
not
49ers.
worse
I'm
than
going with
this.
the 49ers. I'm going with the 49ers because even if I wanted the Commanders to beat them for any kind of reason, they're not going to do it. So
49ers are 13.5-point favorites. So there's that. Panthers at Jaguars. This is not the Tubi game of the week, by the way, but it is a candidate for the Tubi game of the week because Trevor Lawrence is not starting.
Yikes. We got some bad football this week. Trevor Lawrence is not starting, but I'm still going to go with the Jaguars.
Yeah, me too. Beathard ain't that bad. And the Panthers just don't have a good, they're just not good. Even though they did hang with Green Bay last week, but
they did.
They're still not a good football team. Titans at Texans.
Oh, baby. And CJ Stroud is back this week, isn't he?
He will be playing back this week.
He will be back. I'm going to ride with D'Amico. Roll Tide, D'Amico.
Riding with the Texans as well. Steelers at Seahawks. This should be an interesting game.
That really should be an interesting game. The Steelers really need this win, don't they?
Yeah, in order to stay in the playoff picture.
In order to stay, okay. I'm going to go with the Seahawks at home. It's hard to beat them. At home, the 12th man is something. The 12th man is.
I agree. Yeah. I'm going with the Seahawks as well. This is the Tubi game of the week, friend.
Okay.
Who is going to start for either the Chargers or the Broncos this Sunday? Do you know the answer to that?
No. Is that who's
and
playing?
This is why this is the Tubi game of the week. We have no idea who's playing quarterback at either team. And look, the quarterback of the Chargers, it's been the same dude for the last couple of weeks because Justin Herbert went out against the Broncos about 3 weeks ago, and I still don't know his name. Okay,
sorry,
don't even know who's starting for the Broncos. Do you?
No, I'm sorry to that man.
Oh, it's Jarrett Stidham. I do know who is starting for the Broncos. It is.
Oh, that's the Broncos. Okay. Okay. Hey, Jared. I don't know. Am I supposed to pick a winner?
Yes, you're supposed to pick a winner.
It's Broncos. Oh, I want the Broncos. I'm gonna say Chargers. I want the Broncos to lose every game from here on out.
Me too. Fuck the Broncos. Fuck you, Sean Payton. Fuck you, Walton family. Y'all can go to hell. But it's just the Tubi game of the week because this reeks of stank all over because of the quarterback situation. Bengals at Chiefs. Jamar Chase been a little yappy past couple days, even though his team is currently in fourth place in the AFC North. Anyway,
Bengals
and it's questionable. He is questionable for the game.
He's questionable. Yes. I'm gonna go with the Chiefs. I don't see them dropping 2 in a row.
You know, I'm going with the Chiefs too because I think that they were pissed about that game, and I think Jamar Chase gave them some bulletin board material, so I'm going with them. Packers at Vikings is the final game. There is no Monday night football game, so the Packers and the Vikings will be closing things out in Minnesota. Both teams are 7-8, not necessarily out of the playoff picture.
Okay.
This is a push game, by the way.
Oh, it's a push. So I can just pick anybody. I'm gonna just pick Green Bay.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna pick Green Bay too. Yeah, they lost Hawkinson last week with a knee injury. Jordan Addison has some type of injury, but I don't think it's as serious. But he's not going to be 100%. And I believe they lost a defensive player as well last week. So I got nothing with the Vikings. I'm not picking them. So Packers, it is. Those are our Week 17 NFL picks. And before we get into our college football talk, you got to make sure that you book your next winter getaway with our sponsor, Expedia. Package your flight and hotel to start saving big. Plus, Don't forget to sign up because members earn up to 10 times more One Key cash on flights when booking a package. Start saving by clicking the link on the description and booking your next trip with our Expedia promo link. And if you're watching, the link is already on the bottom of the podcast. It's also in the comments on the podcast, and it is also in the description in the podcast if you're listening to it on your phone. So make sure you click that link because a lot of y'all going to be ready to start making your Super Bowl plans, start saving and getting that 10 times key cash with the Gridiron Gals. All right, college football. It is bowl time. First of all, Charles, I ain't really been watching no bowl games. Everybody's, opting out, which is their right, and I'm not mad about it at all, but it also means that I know that the product ain't going to be good. Case in point, Ohio State. Ohio State. Ohio State. How many points did they put up against Mizzou?
Three.
Was it three?
Three American football points.
1, 2, 3.
And I watched that game with my dad, and we were just like hate watching it. It got to the point where my dad just started pretending like he was the commentary, like he was calling the game. And I was getting irritated because he was entertaining himself, and I was like, why would you pretend to call a bad game? And he was just entertaining himself. But like it was one point where because the quarterback for Ohio State, young man, I don't know your name. It was his first day playing. We didn't have the other boy whose daddy played in the NFL. You know that boy I'm talking about? He didn't play, okay? Which I'm like, why was you even going to play? But he didn't play. He was on sidelines. But I saw that quarterback get sacked, and he was the defender was so completely unblocked, like completely all the way, like completely unblocked. And I said, this game is foolish and a waste of my time, and this is some bad.
He was fucking tired.
Bad. I'm talking about. I was like, he is completely. He could have just walked up to the dude. I said, this is horrible product. And Mizzou's coach was super happy they won. I don't know what Ryan Day's life is like right now.
Ryan Day is in hell. Okay.
Yeah, he's in a little hell right now. He's in living hell. And
I saw a statistic, Charles, that Ohio State has been 2-12 in the last 14 bowl games against SEC opponents. Hey, man. Hey.
And keep telling y'all about SEC. You can stay mad if you want to.
Now listen, and look, last year's team, when they almost beat Georgia, because almost doesn't count, but they definitely matched up well against the Bulldogs. I think that we can all, because they missed the field goal at the end that would have won them the game. Remember? That team was really good. McCord, their quarterback, transferred. Marvin Harrison probably, didn't play because he about to be probably should be the number 1 overall pick, in my opinion.
I'm sorry, who?
Oh yeah. I forgot. I don't know who name. I have a thinking problem. I immediately came up with a thinking problem. I said somebody's name I shouldn't have said.
You got a thinking problem.
I got a thinking problem. I'm sorry.
It's all murked out here.
Oh God, Lord, please. I ain't mean that. So please forgive me for saying that man's name. But y'all know who I'm talking about. The man for the Colts. They used to play for the Colts, his son. That looked just like him. He should be the number 1 overall pick. But other than that, man, like, I ain't watched. These bowl games have been terrible. And a lot of it has to do with the kids opting out. And again, I'm not taking away from them at all. Them trying to maximize their health to make sure that they're ready for the NFL draft. But it does play a role into how good the bowl games are. So this will be the last year that we see the plethora of bowl games be, as they were meaningful before, but they real meaningful now. But next year, when the college football playoff expands to 12, we will, I think, see, more kids play. Do you think, though, Charles, this is my question to you. After 6, do you think that we'll still start seeing kids opt out? After 6, 7 through 12, if they feel like we don't really have a chance here and I need to start preparing for the next chapter of my life, do you think that that will happen, or do you think that will still motivate the 7 through 12s to try to
I
stay?
think they will. I think they will. I think they will. I don't think that they will be like, we don't have a chance. I think that we will be able to see like kind of what they're saying now. Like, we can do that. We can beat them. We can beat them. I think it will motivate them even more. That, you know, they want to be that number, that 12th team or whatever, however they rank it, you know, 12th team to beat the number 1 team or to beat the number 4 team or something like that. So especially if they do it, you know, kind of like brackets and stuff like that. So yeah, I think they'll be motivated. Bowl games, no, because then nothing comes but just bragging rights.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I agree. I hope so. I hope I'm wrong here. I don't think it's gonna be. I don't think it's gonna be like how it is now by any chance. But I do wonder, like, how, you know, if it's still gonna be some kids that's gonna be like, I mean, we ain't beating Alabama, we ain't beating Georgia. I'm not. You know, let me move forward into my next chapter. But I am excited to see how that's going to work out next year. But until then, we got college football playoffs, which start on New Year's Day. What a great way and I'm so glad that they put it back on New Year's Day as opposed to having New Year's Eve.
New Year's Eve, yeah.
So we get an opportunity to enjoy the game. So I'll get with your game later. If you're watching the podcast, Chelsea has on her Alabama shirt, and we'll talk about her Crimson Tide in a minute. But let's start with Washington, the Huskies playing against the Texas Longhorns. Washington said that they feel disrespected by, you know, the chatter about how the Longhorns going to beat them up. I think they're only 4-point underdogs, but the national media is heavily for Texas. Mm-hmm. So,
yeah.
Do you think that Washington has a chance?
Absolutely, they have a chance. I definitely think they have a chance. I think that the four teams, I think that they're all like, that's a good solid core 4. But I definitely think Washington has a chance. But we know that Texas is the sweetheart. Everybody wants Texas to be back. They want Texas to win the whole thing. If Texas wins the whole thing, we are going to be in hell. They will never. We are going to be absolutely in hell. So Michael Penix, please, baby, please. But yeah, I absolutely think they have a chance. They have played phenomenal this year.
I love Michael Penix. I think what people are going to do, Charles, is talk about like the last couple of games of Penix, which he didn't play well, but a lot of that had to do with injuries. It wasn't about him. Mm-hmm. It was about it was about him, but it was about his health more than anything. And I think that that's the part that people are not, you know, adding into the conversation. So
right.
So he's had what, a month off now? Well, it will be a month. I think that he'll be good to go. I'm excited to see this game. You know, yeah. I am very excited. I like Quinn Ewers, the quarterback at Texas, but I love Washington, and I think that they're a really good team. So it will be interesting to see how this goes. Alabama plays. Who do they play, Charles?
The Cheaters.
Alabama plays the Cheaters.
Alabama plays the Cheaters. And I think that this should be no problem.
Okay. You know, I listen. Michigan, y'all been in the playoffs a couple years now. Y'all get cute, and then you get out there and get your ass beat. So until we get proven otherwise, I don't see how this trend changes. Sorry. And Jim Harbaugh gonna run his little ass back to the NFL because he's about to get more sanctions against him.
More sanctions. And I think that you all play too much, and y'all tote the line of cheating. And I think you deserve to lose this game.
Oops. So well, there you have it. So Chels is saying that it's going to be a knockdown, drag out for her Alabama Crimson Tide against the Michigan Wolverines. And there you have it. All right, volcano time. I was going to share this one with you, and then at the last second, I forgot that there's somebody I do want to bring in, but I definitely want to chime in on your volcano recipient. So, who is your volcano recipient of the week, Chels?
Yes, and shout out to some of our listeners who make some really great recommendations for people that go on the volcano. But I'm almost embarrassed by this person. a person that was definitely my favorite player on the team, a phenomenal football player, a phenomenal athlete, but a large jackass, and that is Dez Bryant. Dez gets very, very caught up in the social media. He lacks a lot of tact. I don't think that he has friends around him that are smarter than him, which is a problem. And so what he does is he gets really wrapped up in the social media. Now, the things about Dez is Dez, no matter what happens or what people think that they happen with the Cowboys, Dez is Cowboys down to the socks, okay? He is a Cowboys fan, born and raised, played with the team, whatever. And so a person made a comment regarding the bill. I think Dez made a comment about Josh Allen or something,
yes.
And a Bills fan, and the Bills beat us up real bad. And so the young lady made a comment to Dez and was like, "Oh, you're just saying that because your team lost." And Dez stays in his feelings. Y'all know that. He stays in his feelings. And he made a comment to her, something on the lines of, "This is why I don't like talking to female fans like you," and blah, blah, blah. And, I don't tell you, football is a man's game, and I don't tell you how to put on a skirt. Mm-hmm. So he layered the sexism on top of one another.
Oh, he doubled and tripled down.
And then doubled and tripled down because he found 2-3 other jackasses that agree with him. One of them is a Cowboys. I'm not even going to give his name any credence, but I did say something to him. And they said, "Oh, well, Dez knows all of these, and Dez, got this person to interview him, and he blah, 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 like covering for him." I don't care if he is holding hands with Pam Oliver. It does not negate what you said to that woman and what it looks like to other women who see you say, "We don't tell you how to put on a skirt." First of all, who the fuck is putting on goddamn skirts? What the hell is going on? 1955. We out here, you done went back to 1955 on that one, but then you double down, and that is a problem. The NFL recognizes very well the importance of female fandom. Gone are the days of women women are just watching, you don't know what you're talking about. No, the problem is you men don't know what you're talking about, and women do know what we're talking about, and y'all don't know how to handle it. And that is Dez Bryant. And what she said to him was a very general blanket comment.
Yeah, that wasn't necessarily wrong either. I mean, it was an opinion, of course, but it wasn't like she was like,
it wasn't necessarily, "Oh, you just feel that way because the Bills beat y'all." Anybody could have said that. Many men probably have said that. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But you decided that you would target this particular person. And I do think that he was triggered by the fact that he is sensitive about that loss. I do think that. But I also think that you don't just randomly tell somebody, "I don't tell you how to put on a skirt," unless that's how you feel. And then I think he may need some accomplices in the volcano, because the women who agreed with him and who were saying, "Oh, well, I know this, Dez, and Dez, I like you, and I don't blame you, and I think you weren't talking to all women. Why don't y'all join him in that volcano? Because what the fuck is you?" I would not have liked that comment coming to me either, because I was sensitive about that loss. But I'm not about to do a blanket statement, and I'm definitely not about to defend him, because he's one of my favorite players. I'm not about to defend him. Fuck him. Go in the volcano. And I think you should take these women who want to be pick-me's or want to impress these athletes. And what happens is those women started replying to him, and then he started to feel justified, because if so many women are saying, "I wasn't offended, then hey, guess what? Maybe what I said." So accountability is a problem. So he was never made to have any accountability. And then also what we find out is Dez is also trying to start a podcast, which I would like all podcast mics to be abolished.
The fun podcast, the fun microphones.
Defund them, because now he's like, "Oh, I'll talk about it on the Dez Bryant." Hey, leave us alone. Leave us alone. Go into volcano. Take all them little pick-me women with you that want to make it bad and everything. Go and get into that volcano.
And
but
the men, they responded too. All y'all can go.
Well, what a horrible
women that's responding are emotional.
Exactly. Please. And what a disgusting end to that Cowboys reporter. You can go in there too.
Yeah, Dez was trash for that. He doubled and tripled down, then replied to a lot of women who didn't agree with him, and didn't reply to men who didn't agree with him. We saw you, Dez. That barbershop talk that y'all be talking about. I've been to too many barbershops. As y'all know, I don't have no hair, so I go to barbershops all the time to get my hair cut. The way that these men do not know sports, the way you think that they do, is hilarious to me. And we got to stop acting like football is fucking rocket science. It ain't hard. It ain't hard to pick up. It ain't hard to understand. The basic concept of football is very easy. Stop the bullshit. Okay.
Yes.
And so we're tired of hearing that dumbass shit. You got to get into the fucking volcano, Dez Bryant. I was going to do Dez too. And then I was like, you know what? I forgot that this happened. I putting Deebo Samuel in the volcano. Deebo Samuel embarrassed himself this week. If you are not on Twitter, you did not see the embarrassment. But so we all know Cam Newton has a podcast. By now we know Cam Newton has called Brock Purdy a game manager. So Deebo Samuel went on Kay Adams's podcast. And he called out Cam Newton, was like, first of all, Cam, stop texting me, trying to get me to be on your podcast, which, by the way, I don't think there's anything wrong with that, right? Like, if Cam Newton has a podcast and he's trying to get guests and he talks shit about your quarterback, I don't even think was talking shit, because I don't think what he said was necessarily disrespectful. You just didn't like what he said, and that's okay, right? But if you didn't like what he said and Cam wants you to come in and defend your quarterback, that's what he's supposed to do if he wants to build his podcast engagement, right? So Cam Newton does a video and say, hey, I love you, Deebo. I'm still a fan. You was mad at me about what I said about your teammate, as you should be. I'm understandable. But I'm not texting you. So whoever it is, it ain't me. And you need to post the receipts, because it is not me. So Deebo then screenshots some receipts, or so we thought. But apparently, allegedly, it was not Cam's number. And apparently it was some people from South Carolina that was in a frat group that did this and made this up and acted as Cam Newton when pretending to trying to get him on his podcast. So yes, he got catfished. So apparently people told him this, and then he goes and deletes the tweets because it's not real, right? This is not Cam Newton here at this point. So the tweets are gone. And then, he's kind of trying to tweet through it, post pictures of his daughter or some baby and other stuff. And then he was like, oh, this is all fun for me. Y'all think I'm taking this serious? No, you was wrong. And you got caught. And that's what the fuck happened. And it was fucking hilarious. And Deebo, listen, okay? You're a great football player. You are very sensitive. Okay. And we just want you to just stop. We just want you to play football and be quiet. Just be quiet.
Okay? And stop listening to, and everybody don't be triggered by Cam Newton. Listen, Cam is podcasting from outside the club right now. Okay.
Exactly.
And listen, I think that he is justifiably bitter. Justifiably. Because he should be playing in the league. But right now, man is sitting in the back of his cigar bar in Atlanta somewhere with a bunch of podcasts masked about him. He got feathers and a deck of cards in his hat. And he is talking shit. And he is getting people riled up. And every time somebody that he talks about loses, everybody's like, Cam was right. Oh, now Cam is the guru. Cam is equating these quarterbacks with how he had to play. None of them are Cam Newton. And basically what he's saying is, I'm better than all of these people.
That's in a nice way. That is what Cam is saying. And look, that is his opinion. He is but again, I don't think that Cam was ever, especially when he elaborated his point. When he first said it, okay, I can understand the discourse. When he came back and said, I am not saying that being a game manager is a bad thing. I think that there is absolutely a place for people that are game managers, and this is why. And he explained himself, and I was like, okay, so he's not being disrespectful. This is just his opinion, which he's entitled to, and now he has a podcast, right? But if he would have been like, fuck all of them, they ain't shit, and I could be better than all of them, completely could understand. Now, the problem that I have with Debo is that what we're not going to act like is like we didn't watch Jimmy Garoppolo, who is now benched, by the way, by the Las Vegas Raiders, essentially take almost the same fucking people to the Super Bowl just 4 years ago. And that was without Christian McCaffrey. Okay, without Christian McCaffrey, who many people are considering the MVP. Brock Purdy was the fucking Mr. Irrelevant. Of course, he's a game manager, and that's okay because they have 4 losses. It's complete. I wouldn't give a fuck if you called me a game manager if I end up winning a Super Bowl. Who the fuck cares? I absolutely have an elite cast around me. That includes you, Debo. It's okay. Okay,
and many game managers have Super Bowl rings. And
Trent Dilfer can write a book about it, baby. Trent Dilfer can write a whole fucking book, and I bet you he don't give a fuck. Trent Dilfer was a first-round draft pick and ended up being a game manager in a Super Bowl. And I promise you, he would not care if he had to do it all over again. If he had to take the helms of he got a ring. That's all that matters. But Debo. Everything ain't disrespect, baby. Or then you go out here and you disrespect people, and then you think that they're not supposed to come back and say things. And that's the part that I have a problem with, which is why shutting the fuck up just all the way around probably works better than it doesn't. You out here throwing receipts that ain't real. You was out here throwing unreal receipts, bro. Fraudulent receipts because
and you should know better. And you should know better than to just listen to a text message and think that it's randomly. You have the resources to verify who is texting you. You should not be getting catfish. You just were so pressed for it to be Cam Newton. Come on. All you got to do, if you think that's Cam Newton, you should have said, hey, bro, I'm about to call you.
Yep. I'd have been like, send me a video, Cam, and say this, that.
And I want to see, send me a video and I want to see the hat and the cards and the feathers in the hat. I want to see you looking like a giant black rooster when you FaceTime me.
Right. Oh my God. Debo, just be quiet, bro. Just play football and just talk at the end of the season. Because it's just, it's becoming too much. It's just becoming too much. And tweet and don't tweet either. Just stop. Okay, friend. Move along. All right, Charles, before we go, any final thoughts?
I'm still trying to hold in my laugh from that last little segment, but I just like to say I just wish all of everyone a happy new year. Thank y'all for riding with us this year, especially with our new adventure being on down on the YouTube. And I'm just looking forward to the good end of the year, and we just appreciate y'all.
We really, really appreciate y'all. We want to thank y'all so much from being listed the best podcast in the Baltimore beat, from our girl Amy Trask shouting us out.
I fangirled completely out. Do you hear me?
We love Amy.
Yes, listen to them. They funny. Now y'all know I think Amy Trask is going to be the next NFL commissioner in my head.
I would love to see that.
If they really wanted to do something, that's your next commissioner. And she replied and told me, thank me for saying hi. Child, you can't tell me nothing. I should have wore a fur coat on this podcast. You can't tell me nothing. You can't tell me nothing.
Yes, we love you, Amy. We love y'all for listening. This is the first full year that we did a video. We're going to make it better next year. We'll figure out all the extra bells and whistles that other podcasts have. This was just like our pilot video year.
DIY Black Girls in Tech.
Because we're basically doing it ourselves. And so we'll figure out how to do the intros, the outros, because people will be like, well, when y'all gonna put the theme music, which we do love, and shout out to my guy Japiro for doing our theme song. But ultimately, we'll figure it out. But we want to thank y'all for just kind of being with us through all of these things. And we just really hope that 2024 is not only great for us and our podcast, but you guys too. We just hope that everybody has a prosperous and great 2024. And hopefully Charles and I can continue to make y'all laugh and give you the tidbit on what's going on in the NFL and college football. And so we're excited about what's to come. We want to thank you all for listening, and we'll talk to you in the new year.
Later. Happy New Year.